So one of the sessions that I attended today was a productivity session. It was actually pretty cool because it was a lot of information condensed within 30 minutes. So I know that you read a lot of books about business and productivity, and I'm curious as I go down the list as to what you agree with, what you disagree with, and if there's any new information that you learned.
Okay, sounds good.
They were suggesting that the way that you collect documents is through a platform. A lot of attorneys are using Pipeline. Are you familiar with this? Do you recommend it? Or how do you recommend collecting documents from a client?
To win a case, the most important thing are the documents, right? If you can't get documents, you cannot win. And the best way to collect documents is in the way the client is most comfortable. So if you impose a restriction on them, meaning you have to use Pipeline, you have to use email, you have to physically drop it off with a rubber band, then it will delay the process, complicate the process, and it might not work. We try to do it in whichever way the client is most comfortable. They like to use email, great. If they like to use Facebook Messenger, sure. They want to physically drop off everything and then we scan it and then we give it back to them, sure, right? Different people have different habits, and so working with their habit is the fastest way to win a case.
So the second one was protect your self time, which means kind of blocking out that time where you dedicate to really big projects like writing a book or publishing an article aside from casework.
Yes, I totally agree. I think I agree with this more than I should. So I try to implement 50-50. You're supposed to only spend 50% of your time doing casework. The rest of the 50% should be doing non-casework, different projects, different things like that. But I think I'm a little extreme in that sense, and I understand there's a lot of pushback from within the company because some people just want to work on cases. They don't value all these other projects. So that's my ideal for myself. I encourage people to do it, but if people don't want to do it, I think that's okay.
So the next one, they recommended using a software called Loom. It's basically the idea is that you send videos of yourself relaying important information so that you don't have to host a meeting.
Yes, if you can use email to explain something, if you could use the same video that can explain something. We send a lot of YouTube videos, right? People are complaining that IO90 is too long, or how do you file for a reentry permit? We create a video, so we just said you could just watch that. But if you have follow-up questions, then we could jump on a call, right? But yeah, you want to use all the different methods of communication to your advantage. Some people love watching these videos, and some people want to just jump on a call. Some people want to do it via text. And so everybody's different, but as long as you provide these resources to them, then everybody is happy.
All right, so the next one was sending online questionnaires to clients and essentially like chatting with them when those online questionnaires are incomplete. So if they send you something and they didn't give you the full address history, employment history, basically having that online questionnaire will help to minimize the back and forth.
Yes and no. We've done this for 30 years, and I could tell you, sometimes clients hate you for sending a questionnaire because it's like, that's your job, right? You're supposed to fill out. Why am I filling stuff out for you? What am I paying you for? And then there are clients who hate you if you don't send them a questionnaire. It's like, how inefficient can you be, right? I'm paying you to be efficient. Send me the questionnaire. So that depends on the clients, right? We actually have a quick conversation. Do you want us to send you a questionnaire, or do you want us to like interview you and talk about it? Some people want to do it in person. Some people want to do a Zoom. Some people want to do it on a Zoom recording. Like, everybody is different. If you want to be a firm that is very adaptive to different type of clients, then your system needs to be adaptive. It cannot just be we send questionnaires to everyone, and until it's completely filled out, signed, notarized, and then we will not start your case, right? If that's the case, I think a lot of people would turn away, right? And you can't be completely free flowing either, right? So you just need to adapt to different people, and also different case types, not just the different personalities, right? Because there's some cases that are very personal, like if you're doing a waiver case, right? Or if you're doing an EB1 extraordinary ability case, a questionnaire will never completely capture everything you want. In fact, if you base everything off of a questionnaire, you might lose 70-80% of what's possibly there. So an interview is actually really necessary. Drawing out a business plan, you can't just send out a questionnaire either, right? Because there's so much to develop together. So for these more complicated and bigger type cases, we always recommend a conference call where we have multiple people together discussing, dissecting, and brainstorming.
Okay, well, they didn't go into depth about the last one, but it was basically automating your review process. What do you think about client reviews in general, and how do you usually request them?
We used to prioritize that a lot. I think we still say it, but we don't actively do it just because it's such a long process, right? When we're working with a client, it's like, 1 or 2 or 3 year relationship, sometimes 8 year relationship. And so at the end of that, we if we just simply ask them, hey, can you leave a review? They usually do. And some people are not comfortable leaving reviews because it's like you're leaving a review for a law firm. That means everybody knows you need this legal service, right? And so people are very private about what they have. So we don't care about reviews as much anymore compared to when we just started out. But I think we still do it. I think the best thing about the review is that it keeps everybody accountable, right? If everybody in the firm knows that clients are actively and able to review us, it keeps us in check. It's not necessarily a way for us to boost our image. It's more so it reminds us why we are doing it. And if we don't do a good job, this could be the consequence. But I don't think in the legal industry, it's not like a restaurant where reviews are all that important. Like somebody who has 150 reviews versus somebody who has 90 reviews, it's not that big of a difference. If you don't have any reviews, then yes, that is a big difference. But if you have some, I think it's fine.
All right, thank you. Well, that was pretty much everything I was able to jot down in 30 minutes. But I think it was really helpful to get more context as to when, how, to use all of these different suggestions.